to this video on useful sites for finding free datasets. So when we think of a dataset and when we go over the internet to search for them for our data analysis or data science tasks, some of the common ones that come to our mind are Kaggle datasets and UCI Machine Learning Repository, etc. In this video, we're going to look at some other similar data aggregator sites which help us in getting access to free and open datasets. Now, before we dive in, let us just quickly look into why it is essential to have open datasets. Open datasets fuel innovation. They enable people to focus more on the research part than on the data collection part. And we all know that data collection isn't easy. It is both a time-consuming and an expensive process. Now look at 5 useful sites that can be used to download datasets free and openly. The first one on the list is called the Google Dataset Search, which is like a search engine dedicated to finding datasets. If a dataset is available publicly, there's a good chance that it will pop up in the Google Dataset Search. At the time when this tool was launched, it had almost 25 million different datasets from across the globe. Let us now quickly look at how we can download a desired dataset from Google Dataset Search. Type in Google Dataset Search in the regular Google search bar, and the first link that pops up is the link to the Google Dataset Search tool. In the search bar, let's type the dataset that we want. Let's say we want datasets which relate to education. And it shows me more than 100 such datasets. And the datasets from US Department of Education, from education in India to East Africa, and a lot more. Let's say we want this dataset, which is education in India. We click on this, and this dataset is hosted at Kaggle. We could click here and we could directly go to Kaggle to explore it. It's in zip format, and these are the further attributes of the dataset. You could also filter out the dataset based on the last updated date, the format, the usage rights, topic in which you're interested, and whether the dataset is free or not. You can also save your dataset by clicking on this bookmark button, and then you can access all your saved datasets from this tab. The second dataset site that I'm going to talk about is called OpenML. OpenML is an open data science platform meant to democratize machine learning research. It provides a large amount of datasets from a variety of domains ranging from healthcare to education to climate change. Now, every dataset on this site has a dedicated web page, and apart from a lot of dataset, you can also build your machine learning models and upload it to the site so that others can use it. So essentially this platform is not just a dataset aggregator site, but a collaborative machine learning research site. You can go to the site by typing in openml.org, and you have 4 colorful tabs or circles which point to the datasets, the tasks, the flows, and the results. Let's go to the datasets. And so this is the dataset page, and it has a lot of datasets. You can also filter them. Let's say we're interested in this dataset called the Blood Transfusion Service Center dataset. And like Google Dataset Search, this also has a number of attributes. For instance, if it's publicly available, it's when it was uploaded, by whom, and how many downloads have occurred for this particular dataset. We can also download this dataset directly from here, either in CSV format, ARFF format, JSON, XML, and RDF. So great thing about this is we get to know directly from where this dataset has been sourced, and also what it contains, like what is the target attribute, whether it's a binary classification problem or a regression problem, etc. This dataset has 5 features, and this is the distribution of them. This is the properties, and you can see all the properties. And these are the various models that people have created. For instance, this is the supervised classification, a tenfold cross-validation. This is one with the 33% holdout set, and you can just go on, and you can choose to work on an existing uploaded model, or you can create one of your own. The next one on our list is the FiveThirtyEight. So FiveThirtyEight.com is a site that regularly publishes interactive articles, and they present some compelling analytical stories backed by interesting and curated datasets. The good thing is that they make these datasets available via their GitHub repository. Anybody can use these datasets and perform analysis of their own on topics ranging from politics to sports. Navigate to FiveThirtyEight.com, and this is how the site looks like. It has a lot of articles on politics and sports and science, etc. If you'll scroll down to the end of the page, you get the link to the datasets page. Click on this, and what you get is a page that links to the data and the code behind some of their articles. So you can just choose a story in whose data you're interested in, and you can just click on this blue button to download the dataset. However, if you think it's a hassle to download from this page, you can also go to the GitHub repository. That is github.com 538/data. And here you have all of their articles and the relating datasets. For instance, there was an article on airline safety which was posted by them. Should travelers avoid flying airlines that have had crashes in the past? And here is the dataset in the .csv format that you could use. The next dataset site that we're going to talk about is called the Awesome-Public-Datasets. Now this site is actually awesome and is actually a GitHub repository containing some high quality public datasets which have been nicely separated by industry. So here is a quick look at some of the industries which have been covered in this dataset repository. So by going to Awesome Data / Awesome Public Datasets repositories, you get access to a wide variety of datasets ranging from agriculture to biology to education, healthcare, image processing, and even esports. So these datasets are collected and tidied from blogs, answers, and user responses. And most of the datasets are free, but there might be some which are not. So you have to be very careful. And if you go further down, you will see a description of every dataset that is on this site. So this is pretty cool. The fifth and the last site that we're going to talk about in this video is called the BuzzFeed News. So BuzzFeed News is an American news website which is published by BuzzFeed, an American internet media news and entertainment company. This site features stories, and like FiveThirtyEight, it has open sourced the data, analysis, libraries, tools, and guides from those stories on the GitHub. Open for everybody. You can find a lot of interesting datasets there. This is the BuzzFeed News repository, and you'll find here not only the data, but the analysis, the standalone datasets, libraries, tools, and even guides. So sorted date-wise is the data and analysis of the articles. But what you'll also find is some of the libraries and tools which they use and some guides. So you can read that article and then download the data and do an analysis of your own. This is great for some of the portfolio projects that you wish to create. So these were some of the cool sites that I know which host open and free datasets. We can download the datasets and use it for our own personal projects. So like I said, there's also an accompanying article with the same name, and you can find link to the article in the description below. So that's all for this video, and we'll meet soon in another similar video on how to download datasets for our data analysis tasks. Till then, thank you.